Chapter 1 of the 2022 football season is in the books. Friday night, we'll start Chapter 2 with the playoffs. Coach, congratulations on a phenomenal regular season. 11-0 divisional champions, first time since 2017. You guys finished the year playing really good football.
Yeah, man, it's just the biggest thing is can we carry that over into this new chapter, this new season. Obviously playoffs present its different type of challenges.
Right.
Everybody's good, and there's more likely, in our scenario, we might get to play somebody we've played already, and we know that presents its own challenge.
Could do it twice.
Got home first round playoff game this Friday at our place, and we get to showcase our talents, and we gotta get better this Friday and just keep working towards that goal.
Lewisburg at 7 o'clock on Friday. Coach, what problems have you seen from Lewisburg? What do they bring to the table?
Just a different brand of football, something that we haven't seen all season. By the pace that they play and kind of their schematics or whatever, they're different from everybody from our division.
Right.
So it's how do our guys play? Do they play to their standard or do they play to our standard? And so that's the biggest thing. And our guys really don't know anything about Lewisburg. How motivated are they to play them? It is a playoffs, and so you would say, hey, no matter what, it's playoffs. You win, you keep playing, you lose, you go home. I told them I showed them a video. I saw it on Twitter the other day, and some folks might like it or not like it. And it was this Pee Wee coach, and he was riling up his team. They done gone like 7 or 8-1, and he's like, "Yeah, guys, I got you a surprise." They're like, "Yeah, we got a surprise," and he took them to this big old container bin or whatever. He said, "Y'all ready to see your surprise?" And opened the container bin, and it was where they store their equipment. He said, "There ain't no surprise. If you lose, y'all equipment's going in here next week, and y'all season's done with." And it was like, guys, that's basically what we got to see.
You're one and done.
You're one and done. So you better have some internal motivation, about keep playing to our standard and keep playing so you can keep winning so you can keep playing.
The great news is to get to Hattiesburg, you play all 3 games at home. So I would think that's a little bit of motivational factor as well.
It is. You can, and I just hope it don't mess with our psyche of, hey, man,
Right.
we're playing at home, we're good.
Right.
It's not the case, I always have to look at the glass look through a different type of lens sometimes. And so, yes, there's so many positives out of that, There's a home field advantage factor here, major. And it's just getting our guys to play to that standard, to, hey, this is our party. Let's party like we party here. And let's have fun like we're supposed to here. And let's not be nice to anybody that comes in here.
Right.
And so, yes, it's obviously a major advantage. And, whoever opponents come in week to week, we gotta take it 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. And that's the biggest thing.
When you look at the playoffs and you look at the brackets, would you rather play a team that you hadn't played, or would you rather play a team you're more familiar with?
It's danged if you do, danged if you don't.
It's really not a good answer, is it?
Me personally, I'd rather play a team I haven't because the newness of it.
Right.
Kids are naturally going to say, "Oh man, we've played them already."
Right.
"Oh man, we've beat them already," and that possesses a lots of problems. And you got to think about the motivation on the other side of the team, with the other team. I'm like, "Oh man, we want to get them back." I've been on the flip side.
Right.
I've played in games where I know 2 or 3 years as a coach that we've gotten to had a rematch game in the playoffs, and it's all the sense of urgency and your heightened focus by your team is there if you're on the other side of it.
Right.
So it's just, naturally you want to play somebody different just because you want to see something different.
Right.
You want to see a different challenge.
Right.
And so, we'll see. If we're fortunate to win this Friday, we could either potentially play Madison, a team that we've already played that's playing red hot right now, after they've lost to us, or we could play a team like Sapanola that, you know, that has some history behind it. And so
Just a little bit.
we don't know. We don't know. You know, we don't know. We'll know 9, 10 o'clock Friday night after that happens.
When it comes to the playoffs, how do you as coaches approach it differently?
As coaches, the biggest thing is, number one, don't mess up a good thing that you've had going. So if this type of practice plan, but you want to be smart.
Right.
You know, it's about being healthy through the playoffs. It's about having all your horses. It's about playing good. You know, kids are going to play hard on Friday night. It's what are you doing during the week, having the good game plan wise and making sure they're fresh when they go out there on Friday night. Practices are faster. You know, practices are faster, more crisp, where, you know, I felt like we had gotten it down to an art for all through division, how we had practiced. We don't practice longer than an hour and a half anymore.
Gotcha.
Now, we're practicing about an hour and 15 because, hey, we can knock this, and this out and keep our guys fresh and, you know, just keeping them fresh, keeping them healthy, and keeping them ready.
Do you introduce anything new scheme-wise just to kind of throw off the opponent, or you just stay with what works?
There's some stuff that we still have in the bag that we hadn't used yet. I know offensively, Coach Ward and them there's several things that they've got tight to their chest that we haven't gotten to use. Same thing special teams wise that we hadn't had to pull out yet. That, you know, do we get to pull it out? I don't know. I don't know when the right moment would be to pull it out. But yeah, we're just gonna keep working our craft, and our coaches do a good job with coming up with a game plan of what's gonna give the other team problems.
Right.
Is the biggest thing week to week.
Is this where you rely more on your leadership from your players than ever before throughout the season?
You kind of got to, you know, we've got to be hard as coaches and make sure, you know, I got to make sure, and I didn't think we had a good practice Monday, but also, too, we had about 24 guys out with the flu, too.
That might disrupt the flow a little bit.
And I was kind of hard, and, you know, I got to be extra hard on my coaches about, hey, man, if you see this little thing, address it.
Right.
Even if it's minute, address it, because it could be a problem down the road.
Right.
You know, if it don't get addressed. And you got to harp on your seniors like, hey, seniors, this is it. You know, you've got to, do you want this to be your last week? Do you want this to be your last practice? You know, I got to tell them, there's only 16 teams in 6A football playing right now. There's only so many teams in the state of Mississippi. Do you want to be in there working out right now? Do you want to be in there having exit meetings and talking about this and that, or do you want to be practicing every day?
Right.
You know, so that's the message I want to send to them every day, and they got to go out and enjoy practice every day.
Would like to tell you that tickets for Friday night, it's like a bowl game in football. It starts all over. Season ticket passes will not work. You have to buy tickets, and all seats are general admission. So wherever you've been, if you've had a season ticket and you've been used to sitting in a certain place, you're not guaranteed that spot. So hopefully we'll be having people fighting for good seats because it's going to be a packed house. Coach, you talked about it. Sometimes I've heard coaches say sometimes they almost rather on the first round go on the road and play. I
could see that. Just either get it out of the way, or I don't know. I mean, it's like it's danged if you do, danged if you don't. No matter what you do, maybe to get guys out of their comfort zone. You would say, hey, sooner or later we got to go on the road, but right now in our scenario we don't.
Right.
So it's just play to our standard and play like we're supposed to at home.
Hopefully the next road game will be the same for the opposing team. They got to go on the road too,
right.
which is Hattiesburg.
I hope so.
So, any looking back through your life on a playoff, whether it's you playing, you watching on TV, any particular playoff game standing?
Man, there's so many that I've been blessed to be a part of. My first year, I remember playing. My first year coaching was 2011 season or 2012. I'm coaching at Houston. Houston hadn't won a playoff game in I don't think they'd ever won a playoff game until that year. And we're playing third round or whatever, and it was one of the famous Chris Jones plays. We're playing against Louisville. Louisville's driving down the field, and they're on the 20-yard line about to score, and their quarterback throws a now screen, and Chris breaks through, jumps up, and something you would see on a video game, jumps up and intercepts the ball 5 yards from the quarterback. Just bop, and he goes 80 yards for a touchdown on the first drive, and just see it. Remember being a part of that, I was like, that just happened. This is a state championship team that we're playing, and seeing that play and knowing this kid's probably going to be that's what an NFL football player makes. There's several other plays, man. Like I told you, I don't know if it's Coach Harden or Houston thing or what, but we lost 3 years in a row basically in the North Half Championship off 3 different types of ways to lose. Lose to Yazoo County in 2016 or 17. Kenny Gainwell is playing for the Philadelphia Eagles right now. He beats us on a 40-yard touchdown last play of the game for us to lose a game on 4th and whatever. I'd called what they're probably going to run that play, and our one of our players slipped and fell and didn't cover the guy, and it was just it was great game. Lost that way by less than a touchdown. The next year, lose to the state champions Water Valley. We had not turned the ball over, but 5 times all season, and in that game we turned the ball over 7 times.
Oh my!
And lose by 3 points. And both their all 3 of their touchdowns were defensive touchdowns. So like a pick six, a scoop and score, and a special teams touchdown. So that was a tough way to lose.
Those are the ones that keep you up at night.
Yeah, and then that last year before I came here, we had lost to Knoxville in 4 overtimes in a pouring down mudfest ball game. It's tied 8-8 going into 4th overtime. And so both teams are sitting there basically thinking, man, whoever scores, the game's over.
Right.
And that's not how overtime works. So we'd get the ball first in the 4th overtime. We score. Both teams think the game's over. Our quarterback and players are running down the sideline, throwing their helmets off, cheering. Their kids are dejected on the ground. Well, what do you got to go next? You got to go for a 2-point conversion. Well, we're trying to gather our kids. Right. Like, guys, we got to go. Game's not over. We got to go defend them too. Well, we finally get out there, get a delay of game because it took us forever. So we get the ball at the 8 instead of the 3. We get stopped on the 1-yard line on the extra point. So we're up 6. They get the ball and they score, and they get the 2-point conversion for us to win the game. And so it's there's some failures in there that you can look back on that were memorable moments that I felt like they're failures for a reason, and I'm hate to say I'm proud of them, but I mean you can learn from them, right. And you can learn a lot from that, and hopefully it just makes us has made me a better coach. But yeah, there's a lot of playoff moments. Excited to get to finally experience some playoff moments with this program and this city. We got shut down our first year here. We were supposed to host a playoff game, and COVID shut us down. So hopefully nothing gets in the way now.
There you go. Well, Coach, great season. Looking forward to even a better second season. Good luck Friday night, 7 o'clock, Lewisburg. We're familiar with them. They used to be in our division, and now it's our first round playoff. So here we go. It's here. This is what you play for. For Coach Harden, I'm Greg Ellis. This is Gridiron Takes.